long day. We're here. Get back. Jess has been
What are you doing with the pillow?
Jess has been traveling. She's
I'm
tired.
clearly exhausted.
She clearly. I mean, I'm exhausted as well. I mean, Jess, can't you see it?
I'm
The
exhausted.
coal mines don't coal themselves.
Yeah. It's exhausting being in this room. In this nice air conditioned room. It's exhausting. Jess,
But we're here.
Jess, lean back in the chair. Lean back. It's okay.
Come on.
You can lean back.
Hey.
Oh, it's too far.
There. Okay. Welcome
Too
back.
far.
It's the Get Back. Jess, how you doing? You're in Pennsylvania right now. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I'm visiting people. Thank you for sharing my location.
Oh yeah, my bad. Hold on. Her zip code is 1-8. Okay.
What's funny is 1-8 is the beginning of the zip code
Get the
here.
fuck
So
out of here. No fucking shot. No way.
yeah, it
No
is.
way.
So
Oh my god.
You gotta cut it. You gotta cut it.
No shot. For
You
real?
gotta cut it.
There's a dog in the background. There's
gotta-
fucking. Oh, what's going on? So,
yeah, this is
You gotta
Lauren.
cut it.
Lauren, come here.
Just
You
fucking
gotta cut
ate.
it. Where's
Just
Lauren?
fucking ate a paper towel. So, I didn't have the energy to fight her to get it, so she just ate it.
All right.
Don't worry.
But you know what else? What other team
Oh,
or person
God,
they
cut it off.
didn't fight to get a win? The Oklahoma City Thunder. They didn't fight at all in Game 6. This is going to be my analysis, Daniel. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Game 6. OKC sucks. That's it. They didn't want to fight. They had no heart. Couldn't make a three-pointer to save their lives.
They probably ran out a little gas. Seems like
They looked like they were in the mud the whole game, and turnovers galore, and TJ McConnell's better than you. Yeah, that's the whole breakdown of Game 6. That's literally what happened. There's nothing else that we need to say about Game 6. The only thing that we can look forward to is Game 7. They got smoked. Brutalized.
I mean, look. I was at work, so I went through the first quarter of this game, and I checked in at halftime, and they were up by almost by 30. You know, OKC can afford a game like this because how they fought in Game 5, and I kind of expected Game 6 from them a little bit. Not this bad though. But yeah, I mean, they were just piss poor everywhere. Pacers ran them out of the building. We go to Game 7. That's kind of it. And you know what sucks, because we have to preview Game 7 now. Like what like the Game 6 analysis is just that it's not good. So when you think about Game 7, you can't even give a fair judgment because this whole series has just been laden with inconsistencies on both sides that you don't know how to predict it. Are we going to get a shitty OKC team, or are we going to get a great OKC team? Are the Pacers going to play defense a little bit better, or are they not? We don't know. We you genuinely don't know what to expect in this game. Like, which team's going to go to their full potential? I don't know. If OKC comes out in the zone again, it might be cooked. How do you go to a zone in a Game 7? In a Game 6? How do you do that? You're in the NBA Finals. How are we playing a 2-3 zone and can't even play it well? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like, who are you guarding? Air? Yeah, they're literally guarding air.
In a final. In the NBA Finals.
You would think that there would be more urgency on defense, but no. You would think that they wouldn't just let Lou Dort shoot like 3 threes in a row and clank every single one of them. You would think that they would just stop shooting threes after going 1 of 17 from 3 within the first 3 quarters. You would think that they would stop, right? No.
Nope.
And
like, you can't even say like OKC is really that. I mean, like, their toughest series, they won 7 games with Denver, but they cruised the rest of the playoffs. I mean, they really didn't have any challenge from the Grizzlies or the Timberwolves. They've had the fresher team. Indiana just has a deeper bench. So like it's tough to really say they look gassed, but they look gassed. I mean, it looked like they barely got off the plane in Indiana.
Yeah, they look like they knew they had another game. They were like, all right,
Yeah,
all right. It's like, well, why give it
they're
up?
like,
Like, why even? Like, I don't understand the mindset. If you're going into this game thinking like, all right, we could win the finals here, go into it with all your might. I need to see more effort. I can't be seeing these stupid turnovers all the time. And then clanking threes. By the way, they didn't have like terrible shots. They had good shots. They fucking couldn't make one. Like it
yeah.
almost felt like there was like a lid on the rim from how much they were missing. That like 6 minutes into the third quarter, they still haven't made a shot.
I don't know. Like I mean, I'm with you. I don't know how you do that in NBA. It's borderline inexcusable, if not inexcusable. Um, and like a game you can clinch it and not have to play a game seven, but I don't know. Maybe it's rigged. Maybe that's the takeaway.
they
Maybe
want
Adam Silver set it up that way.
they want it to go 7 so they can get as many advertisements as they can.
No, I mean, it's probably gonna be one of the lower rating views finals in history. Nobody's talking about this final. Nobody. It's kind of been not great if you're watching from the outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
and like
I feel like
I don't
this
know,
finals
like
is everywhere. No,
It's everywhere, but it's not. It's the lowest viewed finals in a while.
I think that has more to say about the NBA overall, not just who's in the finals.
I mean, but
possibly.
it kind of is about who's in the finals because they was watching last year.
I don't know how many people watched it last year.
Way more than they did this year. Apparently, like this is the lowest viewed finals in a decent bit.
They've been on a decline for a while. So how big is the drop off from last year? Because I saw the drop off from 2017. 2017, they had like 20 million viewers for the final. That's what I read, and now they have 9 million.
They average 11.3 million viewers.
They're
Last
down by 2 million.
Yeah, that's on average. Now 2025. Let me check. Finals ratings.
through 5 games, it's 9.18, so it's down almost
20%.
2 million. Yeah.
Game.
Oh,
Oh,
So
it's actually going the trends game by game. Game 5 had the most, tied with Game 4, and we don't know the numbers for Game 6. So maybe it was a
now
slight increase, very slight, for Game 6.
now I will say this: this NBA Finals has two small market teams, quote unquote, or had was Boston Celtics in it. 2023 had the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
That averaged 11.6 million. So you can make it work with like non-basketball viewership cities. Denver is not known for basketball. Miami's not known for basketball. And while Miami can pull numbers, to have that kind of viewership going on is kind of crazy, right? To have that such drastic drop off is probably a big deal, right? This final has not been, I guess, hyped up enough into what it could be and what it should be about. When the Knicks are pulling more and they're talked about more on the pregame coverage than the actual game itself, I think it's a little bit of a problem. You know, when we're constantly talking about KD and Giannis as opposed to the game itself, it's a little bit of a problem. Not to say those aren't important, but the focus isn't on the final when we have that conversation. It's about other stuff going on in the NBA. When the next 2 weeks, or like the 2 weeks, should only be about the final in the game itself. That's where I think the problem lies. And whether that's ESPN's problem, whether that's TNT's problem, whether that's NBA not getting what they need to get out, it is what it is. But I think the main problem you're seeing is that we're talking about other stuff apart from final. When we get to talk about the final, it's the same rehash conversation. OKC needs to play better. Indiana's playing better than expected. That's the breakdown. It's not riveting. You know, I don't know. I feel that there's a lot that contributes to this, but having such a dress, at some point you can't blame the teams that are in there because the talent is justifiable enough to warrant viewership, and it has to be the lack of real legitimate coverage of the two teams that's affecting it, right? Because you can make small market teams work if you talk about them. If you talk about SGA in the same conversation you have with LeBron and KD and Jokic, right? Which I'm not saying he's at that level, but if he's in your final, you have to promote him like that. Tyrese Halliburton is not getting nearly enough coverage, or Pascal Siakam or anybody about the team, as opposed to that we talk about no name LeBron James on the weekly. So I
Well,
think
I
the
think
lack
that's
of
their
coverage.
problem. They don't have a star. They don't have.
But you have to
You talk about.
but you have to work with what you have, right? You
Well,
have
that's
to
what I'm
work
saying.
with
They
what you
don't
have.
have anything. They have not groomed anyone in these recent years to be the face of the league. So there's no, unless it's LeBron or Steph Curry. It's not on TNT. As a casual, the only games that you turn on are fucking Laker games. They got the Knick games. What's the other team they show over? The Warriors. It's not. It's very few games that actually get national exposure. It's very few teams that get national exposure lately with the NBA. And LeBron James, he's leaving. He's not. I feel like he will always be relevant, but besides LeBron, what else is bringing the casual viewer back into watching the games? They're having a very bad image problem right now. They don't have steam. They don't have flair. It's like no one's excited about the NBA. People stay excited about the NFL all year round. Hockey has been getting more exciting. It's like the NBA is just kind of they're just they're the person that's always at the party, but they don't do anything at the party. They're just there like a wallflower. They don't make any noise. They don't make any splat. It's just yeah, they're here. They've always been here, but it's not, you know, because it is the finals, and I think these finals have been actually very good. And for them to only pull in 9 million is a fucking image problem. It's not a play problem. It's not a talent problem. It is an image problem. They have to really they need someone to figure out their shit, because in all honesty, your rating should not be dropping. It shouldn't. It just really shouldn't. I get it. There's so many more things on television that can distract viewers, and now we have streaming and we have social media. But if other sports are growing their viewership, why is yours declining? In the States, I don't what you're doing globally is fine, but you're a United States team, market, your own market, your own home market, you're not expanding, you're not growing. It's like you're shrinking. I just don't understand what's happening.
If it's not LeBron, they don't care. It's that simple. And when you get down to it, SGA isn't as cool as LeBron, right? Tyrese Halliburton isn't as cool as LeBron, right? They have their own little quirky personalities, right? Shea's an MVP. We should care about this, but if it's not Steph and LeBron, it may not get as many viewers.
They talk a lot about KD, so if they're not KD, okay, he's not in there. It's very few people that their names are big enough where you say it and you know that they're NBA players or whatever, but it's not. You're losing casual appeal, and that's where the numbers come in. So I think you're always going to have your dedicated core fan base, but money is in the people who are just dropping by for the hype, and no one's dropping by for the shit.
I think this is going to be the sad reality. Whoever wins Game 7 is still not going to earn the credible respect by enough media outlets to warrant a conversation about them being in those kind of circles. It's still going to be about LeBron. It's still going to be about Curry. It's going to be about Giannis. It's going to be about KD. Whether SGA wins it or not, whether Halliburton Pacers win it or not. they're just going to be a team that won the final. They're not going to be viewed as like, we need to talk about this person exclusively for the next week. You know what I mean? And that's the sad reality of it. You could be an NBA champion and still not be the face of the league. That's the sad part.
Yeah, well, we'll see for Game
That's
7.
an NBA problem. They need to fix that shit.
Now, does Game 7 get more views? Probably. Because it is Game 7.
Probably.
Does
But
it hit
how
10?
how many more views?
I could say it could hit 10 million.
It could hit 10.
It could hit
I
10.
mean, it's on a Sunday.
It's on a Sunday night.
Sunday night. That helps. Nothing. And the NHL finals are done. Nobody watches baseball on ESPN anymore. It's not really
Well, then
competing against
Sunday's
anything.
it's gonna be the a real measurement on like what's actually happening, because like you said, there's no more competition. Sports is dead right now. Dead. So if you can't bring in 10 million people,
Then
I
we're
don't know.
getting LeBron and wherever Jimmy Butler's playing next year or KD's playing next year in the final. We're gonna get Lakers and somehow the Warriors are gonna be in the final next year.
And you already know these pundits gonna disrespect the fuck out of the Pacers if they win. They're gonna be like, oh, they can't go back. They might not even make the playoffs next year. I don't even. Oh, Shea. Oh, MVP, 68 games. I don't even know how
I
to
think the
MVP.
Pacers are going to win, so they have to fix their attitude. I think they're going to win this series. I think it's
I mean,
theirs.
after OKC, this is the problem.
I don't know.
OKC could play a lot better. They could play a lot better. They should be playing a lot better, but then they just trash themselves like this. So
Yeah, I
sure,
think because they're
you're not
showing that
crazy.
they're kind of like losing it. They may don't have nothing left in the tank.
You cannot be gassed after having basically 4 days off because you did not play Game 6.
They're not gassed.
You
They just
cannot
played.
be gassed.
They're not gassed. They just played like ass. That's what happened. They're just ass. They were ass that game. They played like a fart. That's what they did. Awful. Oh, how many turnovers you won in the first half? 13? Yeah, thanks. Oh, you don't force any turnovers on defense? Oh, yeah. Huh, great job. You're going to win a lot of games. Fucking idiots.
Now, I did say I do see OKC having at least 1 or 2 farts in this final. Not this bad. And I love how we all said, I said OKC in 5, Jess said OKC in 6, Lewis said OKC in 4. We're all wrong. Just how this, we're all wrong. All wrong. No matter what, we had nobody had this in 7. Nobody.
Unless you
Who
were
in their
like
rightful
Indiana
mother
fan.
had it in 7 games?
You were patient.
And you're delusional.
Yeah. If you were a little delusional. All right, who we got in Game 7? I don't know. Fuck it.
I'll say.
Go ahead.
I'll say this. I do think that OKC never has 2 terrible games in a row. They've proven that. They are at home, and they do have something to prove, right? I don't believe they're truly gassed. And while I do think there's a lot of pressure on them, I think Game 5 is the barometer, and that was their best game of the series, in my opinion. And I do think they can replicate that, and I do think Indiana is going to struggle if they go down early. And I think OKC will ride that momentum of Game 7. I do think it's close, but I do think just because OKC is going to be at home, and they get off to a better start than they did in Game 1, and they continue momentum throughout the whole game, I think Indiana will make a run, but I see OKC just stopping that bleeding and getting the lead back and winning late. So I will say OKC in this one.
Jess, who do you got?
I honestly think the Pacers are going to take it.
Ooh. All right. I guess I'm the tiebreaker.
Now, you've been riding with one team this whole playoff, bro. You've been on one team this entire time.
Yeah.
You've been screaming it from the rooftop.
If OKC
They're so
doesn't, if OKC doesn't win, they are one of the worst 68 win teams I've ever seen in my entire life. They're awful. Because ain't no way. Because this like is outside of the Memphis series. This is your easiest matchup, and you lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought you were this team that played great defense and had amazing offense and has an MVP, right? You can score any way you want, foul bait any way you want. I'm gonna pick OKC, but I'm not shocked if the Pacers just come out guns blazing, torch them, easy money. So I'll pick OKC, but if Indiana wins, I'll be happy for them too, because I was not expecting that. So good for them if they win. But I'll go OKC.
Hey, I'm still hate watching, so I'm still going on OKC. I'm still hate watching. I'm still not
Yeah,
over it.
Pacers beat the Knicks, man. How fucking dare they? Now, if the Knicks were in the finals, how many games would they have won?
Maybe 2. If we're being realistic, maybe 2. Maybe we eke out a third game, but I don't think we beat this OKC team in four times. I don't think so.
All right, fair enough.
I think maybe realistically 2, delusional 3.
Fair enough.
Astronomically we win the whole thing. We sweep OKC in 4. If we're being real. We're just that great of a team. What can I say? Tom Thibodeau gets his ring. He's the greatest coach of all time. Jalen Brunson's the new face of the league. Karl Anthony Towns is the greatest center of all time. All that.
Well, you know who might be...
Obi Mikal Bridges is the best winger. Go ahead. I'm done.
Well, you know who might be some of the greatest ownership leaders of all time? Jeannie Buss. She might be one of the best.
Yo.
She sold the Lakers for $10 billion.
To be honest, I don't know if I mean, you can't be surprised
Jess.
because people make deals, but you would think that you would keep that type of egg. That type of fucking Lakers.
You don't say no to $10 billion.
I feel like it's a little bit undersold, to be honest. Like, they could have probably gotten more.
Hey. What's the difference between $10 billion and $15 billion?
$5 billion, motherfucker. Big difference.
My God. We couldn't even you can't even visualize that. They're just casually throwing it around.
And
it's
funny because they're already millionaires. So like
they're billionaires. They're already been billionaires.
So now
but now they get $10 billion without any of the responsibility. They can truly secure their wealth without having to worry about responsibility for a whole fucking team and organization. They have other business ventures they're still taking care of. And that was a smart move. I'm sorry, I probably would have kept, but you can't turn down that type of bread.
And also, this is peak, right? LeBron's still there. He's gonna retire, right? You don't know how the team's gonna look with just Luka. So they kind of I don't know if the franchise value would have dropped, but I don't think it would have went up much from this now, based on the foreseeable future of the team, right? This team could be real ass in 4 years. Real ass.
It could be ass, but the point is there's still the Lakers, the revenue they bring in. That's the point. They could be ass. You're still going to watch the games. Their memorabilia is still going to sell. They're in a hot ass market. So it's it doesn't matter if they lose. They're still going to fucking, it's like the Cowboys. The fan base is just that strong. So it's
now
they probably will be ass in a few years, but it don't matter.
Now we need Jerry.
They're still going to sell out the arena.
We need Jerry to sell next.
Huh?
Joey, he's not going to sell. He's going to die as the owner of the Cowboys. Are you kidding me?
We have to force his hand. We have to force his hand. We have to say it's a box of cookies. If you sign this, you get a box of cookies, Jerry. He's like, oh, I love cookies. And then just signs his away. Why not? Just trick him. He's
Why
old,
not?
right? Get away with it,
You see now, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of
And like, it's crazy. Go ahead.
not knowing what they're doing, the Orlando Magic.
New logo, new jerseys.
Feeling like hot shit. You know what I mean?
trying to flex their muscle a little bit. Yeah, we got 4 first-round picks. Who are we gonna spend them on? Desmond Bain. That too. We got prospect. We got the cap space. Who's the guy we want? Four first-round picks unprotected. Desmond Bain. What are we doing?
Now, I will say, Desmond Bain, young guy, good player. I feel like in Orlando, he'll get a little bit more shine because there isn't that elite guard next to him taking away some thunder. KCP is older. He's not, maybe on, a different team, he could be cool. Like, on a playoff contender, he could be all right. But he's older. Cole Anthony is the definition of mid to ass. He's, fine. He's not going to be your future point guard or shooting guard, and he doesn't play that good defense. And 4 first-round picks, my logic, if I'm going into the mind of Orlando Magic front office, is they're thinking, we made the playoffs this year. We have cap space. We're going to try to get better. And we're probably going to be in the playoffs for the next couple of years. So those picks won't be worth too much. Right? It could be like a late first round pick. That's what they're hoping. They're not hoping that they're going to be top 5 because I don't think they will be. So they're kind of banking on the fact that Memphis was like, 4 first round picks. Yay. But then when the actual seeding for it comes by, they'll be like, 23. You know what I mean? It's not as enticing as it sounds right now. But because I don't think that they're going to be top 5 in the draft. I think they're going to be a good team. I think they could probably eke out 5th seed in the East, 5th, 4th seed if at the highest maybe. The Bucks. What are they going to be? What is Boston going to look like with just Jaylen Brown, no Jason Tatum? What other team? Are the Pacers going to continue and elevate their game and to be a top 3 seed? I don't know. Cleveland, how are they going to look? And New York, I feel like is going to be 1 or 2 or 3 for me. So Orlando's banking on the fact that we're going to be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference for the years to come. They probably won't get a high pick out of it. He's a good player. They needed a guard besides Jalen Suggs. They needed a guard because all they have is forwards. They needed a guard. Yeah, Jet Howard's not going to get it done. Yeah, Anthony Black's not getting it done. You need a better guy in there, and they got a guy who could give you 20, who could play decent defense. So, not a bad move.
I'm not going to disagree entirely, but I will say this, and we'll disagree with you on. NBA first-round picks are kind of finicky just for the fact that they're not consecutive, right? You can't trade consecutive first-round picks. They're every other year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the first-round pick in 2026, 2028, 2030, and 2032, right? So you're talking about the Orlando Magic basically being a great team the next decade. That's not happening, right? So the Memphis is banking on they might be ass, they'll be good the next 2 or 3, 4 years, but those later round picks are they're gonna get their value, right? It's why I think the trade's kind of surprising for Desmond Bain. That would have been okay, maybe 2 first round picks, but I understand Orlando's philosophy and what they're thinking that we're trying to win now, so the future first round picks will just eat. And maybe we'll try to recruit elsewhere. But NBA picks are so weird, and because they're every other year, that the more picks you see, the higher the value of a trade actually goes up. I feel like I don't feel like it decreases. I think it actually increases it, because of how consistent you have to be for that long, and no team is like that in the NBA. There are no more dynasties. There's no more like consecutive great seasons. There are teams that are really good and really strong, but there's no real dominant team in the NBA where you can say like, okay, this is the dynasty of the NBA. So I feel like when you're trading first round picks, I feel like they're worth a little bit more than just throwing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's a real fair point. I guess if I'm Orlando, they're probably thinking, all right, Paolo and Franz are what, 20 something, young 20s. So they're definitely gonna give them the extension. They're gonna try to keep them here for pretty much their entire career, and those two alone can get you into the playoffs. Now, if they just build a solid enough team around them, they're going to be fine into the playoffs. They may not be high seed, but they will be in the playoffs. I feel like, and maybe one year, like barring any injuries or any setbacks, then they might take a little dip. But if we're just going off the basis of everyone's healthy, I think they have a real good chance of, at least in that decade, they won't. I don't think they'll win a championship. They could if everything goes right, maybe. If the East is, getting a little more down and maybe they have a real good year, Paolo takes the steps of being an MVP, then maybe I can see them in the finals. But I think that they're playoff worthy for at least the majority of those 8 years. At least for the majority.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that, but I do feel like there is always that. I think for Orlando especially, there is the possibility, just because I don't think it's a perfect team. I don't think Desmond Bain is the complete answer there, but you don't know how Franz is going to develop. You don't know how Pablo's going to develop. So I don't know. It could go either way. I feel like it's a bit of a risky move right now, and it could pay off and it could not. So it's going to come down to the bit of those two key players, and if they can stay healthy, that's the other part of it too. They have to stay healthy.
Also,
but Orlando's bank, yeah.
If they're gonna be ass when you have your first round pick. Boom.
There you go.
Simple.
Yep.
If you're gonna be
everything.
ass, you better
every other year.
Every other year, be ass.
Every other year, be
like and then you're good. You know what I mean? But don't be ass when the Grizzlies got your pick. You better be fucking in the playoffs and going deep.
Just every odd year, just be ass. What year is it? 2027? Oh, we're losing this year. We're tanking. All of a sudden, Pablo's hurt. Sorry, guys.
All of a sudden, Franz, personal reasons, him and his brother,
Come back next year. Come back next year. Oh, by the way, we're finals bound, right? We're finals bound.
Yeah, we got a top 3 pick. Nothing real crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we won the lottery somehow again. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, we got this superstar guy from France. He's like 7'8". You know what I mean? He's a point guard. He's gonna be doing all right.
Shoot the 3.
Yeah, shoot the 3. Play
shoot from the logo.
Yeah, you can basically Caitlin Clark, Steph Curry, and Victor had a baby. It's a great time. Yeah, for sure. And that, what's funny? They definitely talk about that. They're like, all right, if we're gonna be bad, we better fucking have our first round pick. We better have that shit. Because if we don't, we're fucked.
We're just like, hey guys, we're not talking to the media this year at all. We're not talking to the media. We're just gonna keep our mouth shut. We're just gonna be quietly. We're gonna lose 20 games. We're gonna win 20 games. It's gonna be great.
Hey! Don't say a fucking word. don't say a word.
Say a word. Just say we tried our best. Stuff didn't go our way. We move on to the next game. That's
it. That's. Oh man, I feel like the Knicks are saying that about KD, right? They're like, all right, move on to the next person that we could try to trade for, because apparently the Knicks said no to KD, and I agree. Daniel?
Yeah, thank God. Thank God. I think, look, KD's great. He's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. He brings a lot to the table. I think when you look at this Knicks roster and you look at what their weakness was, it was the strength of their bench, and it was the lack of strength on their bench and being able to go deep into their bench and provide that consistent scoring. And if you're trading resources to get KD in here, you're not helping that situation out. Um, and KD's gonna be 38 when the season starts. He's gonna be. You maybe get 1 or 2 more great years from him, but for what's the payoff for that? Maybe you could kind of argue that maybe you're getting him at the best time at the cheapest value, just based on the year that he had. So that kind of argument, but I don't think you need that player in here. He brings a lot of media attention, which you don't really need. He's gonna demand the ball, and while he's great, I just don't think he fits in what is this Knicks team right now. So I don't know. It's hard to like argue that not trading for him, but like, it just doesn't work, and when it doesn't work. You know, you move on. If he's not gonna fit in your rotation, he's not gonna fit in your system or your style. You move on. So I mean, I like that he's interested, but could have been interested 6 years ago. He could have been here 6 years ago, but oh, well. I'm kind of glad the Knicks didn't like sucker into him and try to like go get him. It became like we don't need you. Goodbye. I kind of like that from this regime where it's like no, we're not going to entertain it. We don't want him. Move on.
Yeah.
You like to see that.
I think if they were to trade for somebody, it would be for somebody younger, yeah. Because, like, KD is not going to be here for the next 3 years. Probably be here for the next 2 and then bounce. Like, or go to another team who's offering him a little bit more cash, right? Like, test free agency and then just not want to come back. Like, and then if you don't win a chip, it's like, well, all for that for not. We traded away a young Mikal Bridges. Traded away another guy who's pretty young and talented. Ooh. So, I don't mind the Knicks saying no because I personally, for me, I don't want KD. Not right now. At least for not the value that the Suns want back for him, I don't want to give.
Yeah.
So, good move by the Knicks.
Yeah, and I think if you're Kevin Durant, this is what I hate about the NBA, right? Like you shouldn't have a say on where you want to go. You should just like where you want to trade, so you can't bitch about where you don't go and where you go. You know, like this is the problem with the NBA and how player driven it is. It's like, "Oh, but I don't want to go. I don't want to go to over there. I want to go to the Heat. I want to go to the Bucks. I want to go to the Rockets. I want to go here. Like, who gives you the right to do that? I don't know. Unless you have a no trade clause, different situation. But he just like, I want to go here. Trade me here. Like, what?
Yeah, sorry, Katie. You don't really got that kind of cachet right now, unfortunately. You're a bit older. If this was 30-year-old Kevin Durant, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
I agree.
Hell yeah. Do whatever you need to do. Cut the losses. I mean, it is what it is. We got KD on the team. We're going to be all right.
He's 38. He averaged 20. I mean, arguably, you can make him a 6-man. He'd be a great 6-man.
Holy shit. KD coming off the bench as a 6-man is fucking filthy.
Can you imagine? Because he averages 25 minutes a game anyway. 25 minutes of KD.
Literally, hey, KD, just score.
Just score.
Whatever you want. Hey,
play.
Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Just score the ball. Do what you do best.
You know what'd be crazy? He probably score more because he's playing with the second unit. He gets team second units. Can you imagine a rookie guarding KD in the second unit?
Good fucking luck. Are you kidding me? He's literally just gonna get the ball at the elbow, square up, and just shoot over him because they're not tall enough. You're not guarding me. Like I'm a freak athlete. I'm better than you. It is what it is. But we'll see where KD ends up. I don't know where he will end up, but
I mean, he's kind of. I mean, like I want to see how much the team will give up for him. I think is what I'm interested in because he's 38. He's got injuries. He had a good year. He had he had points a game. He can still score 6 rebounds, still contribute. it's not like he's a liability out there, but like the dude's 38. He's old, and he's in the twilight of his career. You could just see it, and you're not banking on him playing for half the season because he'll get hurt at some point. It's like what is like he's a superstar, face of the league, Hall of Fame type of player, but where does he like actually fit on a team? I think he would be great off a bench. I think that's the best move for his career. It's the best move for his longevity and for a team to do that. But are you trading 7 first-round picks in your entire young core for that?
Yeah. If I was KD, I would try to go to the Spurs. Because then you don't have the real need to be that guy or be that first option. You could just give the ball to Wemby and De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle and Keldon Johnson. You got a ton of young guys that maybe he could mentor. He could be kind of that Chris Paul guy, right? Come in there, right? Play his game, but not fuck up what the young guys got going on either. So,
Right.
So I would like to see him on a team with young guys who he can kind of mentor and kind of be that guy leading the kind of not leading, but like maturity wise leading that charge for the team.
Yeah. Just kind of be like not be the guy, but be the guy like late in the game who you could trust, or like have him, get the ball and drive the ball up the court type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to KD though. I mean, amazing player. I just want to see where he ends up at this point. Because then it's like, is he going to be in the playoffs again? Right? Is this team even good? Is Orlando Magic? I don't know. Wherever the fuck they want to bring him. I don't even know this. But the Heat. Why? Care? Stop. I feel like the Heat try to get everybody, but nobody at the same time. It's like, shut up. Like, you're not making the playoffs with Bam and KD. Like, is that really the saving grace that we're giving the Heat? Ugh. I don't know. I think they get smoked by anybody. So that's just me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do we want to get into some NFL? All right. Boom. There we're here. Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. Here we go, baby. And the wheel is landing on...
Oh, baby.
The greatest division
Lewis's
in all
division.
of football. The greatest division. Statistically. I don't know if that's true. I'm just trolling. But think about it, guys. Just think about it. This is my division. I'm taking the lead here. All right.
Yes.
Well, who was last? Oh, I know who was last. Let's talk about
the Giants were last.
Oh, isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Okay, so let's talk about the Giants. All right, let's talk about them. My pretties, my preciouses. They were ass. Yeah, that's the shortest form that I can give you. If you want the long answer, you're gonna have to pay me $5 to fucking explain this labyrinth of filth. So, but
right, hang on, I'm sending you $5 right now. You take Zelle or Cash App.
It's okay. But looking back on the season, obviously it wasn't what we expected. Daniel Jones, was awful. We cut him, and it was just the terrible season. We didn't have Saquon Barkley, and it showed. It was awful. Malik Neighbors showed a lot of promise. He's a really good receiver when you just throw him the ball. So, just throw him the ball and good shit happens. And we lost a lot of games because, our defense, pretty good D-line, front seven, played pretty well. On the back end, we can't cover for shit. Deontay Banks, maybe need a little bit of work. The draft class was really good. I loved what the Giants did in the draft last year. And it was just an awful season when you have Drew Lock playing quarterback. Not many good things are possible. Tommy DeVito as well. Like, not good shit happens, right? Like, we're an awful team. Tyrone Tracy played really well, too. There was just a lot of good rookies here and there on the team that showed a lot of promise, even though we didn't win a lot of games. Because we didn't have a quarterback, and, potentially the coaches and the GM should have been fired last year. But, we're here now. It's a new year. We're off winning. How many games did we win? 4? I think we won 4 games.
3.
3. Excuse me. We were worse than I thought. Wow. Crazy. And, leaving that season behind, leaving the Daniel Jones contract behind, leaving the Saquon shit behind, we're starting fresh, right? We got some new guys in here. We had a good draft, right? We were, I guess, more promising than we were last year to start the year. And you're just hoping for some sort of...
I love that word.
You're some sort of lane of consistency, just to show that you are a competent organization again. Because it's been a minute. And, John Mara, recently hasn't had the best time with GMs and coaches recently. Dave Gettleman, ring a bell?
They have to do something this year. If they don't improve, they're going to lose their jobs.
Yes. Pat Shermer, ring a bell, anybody? Joe Judge, ring a bell, anybody? Huh? Fucking running a QB sneak on 3rd and 14 in your own fucking end zone? Huh? Awful fucking coach.
Ben McAdoo.
Unironically, he was the best one. Dude, which is not saying much, you know what I mean? But still, we were awful, but I think we made some good moves. So I would hope that the Giants improve. I would hope. I don't know if they will.
The one thing that the Giants did, because they needed a lot of help, is return to the power of God. They brought in the most religious man in the NFL.
They got a lot of God with them.
Jameson. They have a lot of God. Between Russell Wilson and Jameis, there's a lot of power going on that team right now. All right? Because, goddamn it, they need it.
There's going to be a lot of fucking prayer in that locker room, win or lose. And if you're losing, you're going to need a lot more of that prayer. So...
Well, maybe it'll help establish a new culture. Positivity, uplifting each other, supporting each other, encouraging each other. Not throwing each other under the bus, listening to each other, being more cohesive on plays.
What about playing better? What about just having talent? What about that?
Well, all of this goes into that because they're in the NFL. They don't lack talent. They lack ability to get shit done. So I feel like they may not be playoff bound this year, but the whole Jameson will. The Giants need a culture shift. They need to get back to serious football, like a competent organization, not giving away their best pieces for shit. They really need a culture shift.
That's right, and so hopefully they do it. I swear to God, if we win 3 games,
that's a possibility.
My wall is going to be destroyed. I just want you to know that. There won't be this wall that shit's hanging on. There's not going to be there. Yeah.
This is my biggest problem with the Giants right now. I don't know what they are. Are they a mid team that's going to win 6 to 7 games, or are they completely ass and Brian Daboll and Jackson Dart are responsible? Right.
Hey, don't bring in Jackson Dart. Hey, what'd he do? He's sitting on the bench. Don't bring him in here.
Listen, if you guys are ass, Jackson Dart is going to start.
No.
This is what I'm talking about.
Way. No.
Yes.
Russell Wilson and Jameis. Yes. Jameis Winston will get the start. Jackson Dart does not play this year. I can almost guarantee you that. Barring injury.
I disagree.
Outside of injury.
I disagree.
Why would he play?
You do not draft a quarterback in the first round for him not to at least get into some games this season if you're terrible.
Okay.
If you're in a playoff hunt, I could see it. If you are 2-14, he's starting week 17. I hate to break it to you.
All right, fine. Okay. Outside of a garbage game that means nothing, sure, he'll get a start. But in terms of if we have 5 wins, he's not starting. Or if we have like 6 wins, he's not starting. Anything below 3, he could get 1. Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jackson.
I guess my other question is like, what is going to be the barometer or the criteria that Brian Daboll has to meet to stay in a job? Because we thought he was done last year. He had 3 wins. He had a terrible year. Had garbage year, and we all thought he deserved to be fired, and he wasn't. So, what is his criteria this year for at least keeping his job and proving he could be a coach in this league? That's the other question that I'm asking. Because he has a team this year. Arguably, he does. He has a better team he did last year. Is it a playoff team? I don't think so, but is that the expectation?
No. Expectation should be look competent. Now, I don't even think that means wins. I just think that means you're like kind of like you're showing that you can be good. Not even being good. Like this is how shit it's been over the last couple of years. I just need you to show that you could be good in the future. That's all I need. That's all I need right now. Is
when is the future?
He's worse than us.
In a couple years.
He's genuinely worse than us.
That's the future. A couple years. Let these rookies get seasoned a little bit more. We'll see. Let these old guys, let the young guys come up.
He's more delusional than us.
How am I delusional?
He's more delusional.
How am I delusional? I'm not saying they make it playoffs. That's delusion. That's real delusion. This delusion.
No.
Because we're talking about the barometer.
You're talking about being.
We're talking about the barometer for what is success for the Giants right now. It's showing that you're competent. That's the barometer. Whatever that looks like.
But you're saying if they lose 3 games, but they were close. They were close.
Yep.
In 15 of those games.
And you want to know something?
Confidence means you got to win more than 3 games.
And you want to know something? Remember that first year in Dan Campbell when he was in Detroit? They had like 8 close games that they could have won that was decided by a touchdown or less. But they won like 1 game that year or 2 games, right? But still,
keyword first year.
It's the barometer onto that path. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for, can we even compete? Can we compete? That's all I'm looking for, respectfully. That's it. I don't need you to make playoffs. Shit, I don't need you to get 8 wins. I just need to see some level of competition and fire from this team that I haven't seen in years. Since, I hate to say it, fucking that 1 year where fucking Danny Dimes had that fucking 15 touchdowns. Wow, I need to see something like that. Like just some level of competency where you could win some close games and maybe like you could be in it in some games and play tough, play hard. That's all I need from this team, really. That's it.
Here's the thing about you. You have the patience of a saint when it comes to the Giants, but you're also on your last straw. And I don't know how it will break you if they have another shit year. I genuinely don't.
I already told you the wall's
because you
not
have
gonna
the
be
patience
here.
for
It's
it.
not going to be here. The wall's going to be gone. My fist will be through it. I will have 2 broken hands. I won't be able to type. I won't be able to click start on the fucking computer to record. It's not going to work. It's not going to be good. I'm going to be so sad. I'm not even going to be angry. I'll just be depressed. That's how it's going to manifest into just sulking, into like just. That's what it's going to be. I'm not going to get angry.
Becoming your chair.
I'll just be the chair. Like, it's not, But, just show me that there's a fire, right? Show me that there is some good play calling, right? Show me that you want to be here. Show me you got the balls to be here in New York. Show me that. I haven't seen that shit since fucking 2016. I haven't seen that shit, Daniel. I haven't seen it. It's been fucking almost a decade. I need to see some balls. That's it.
A lot of that comes down to, wanting to play like that. Having a fire and a passion in you. That's what I'm saying. Their culture is lackluster right now. They need motivation. You want your players to run through a wall for you. You want them to be competitive. You want them to show with passion on the field. So it's like, that's what they're missing. That's what they need.
And also better quarterback play. But that's, But Russell
like Brian Daboll.
Well, I mean, this should be better than last year.
It fucking better be. You got to fucking upgrade. It better be fucking better. It better be.
You got double upgrade.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, and we got Jesus.
You got 2 for the price of 1, basically.
We got
We got
four
Jesus.
for the price of 1 because we got God and Jesus. I'm just saying. We're up right now. We won the Danny Dimes cutting by a mile. I mean, we got the Lord Most High. Like, come on, man. And his only begotten son. Come on, dog. Like, so we'll see. But talk about the next shit team in this division, the Cowboys.
Oh God,
It's a strange.
What do you do with
It's
them?
a strange thing. You want to know why? Because it's like Dak started getting hurt, halfway through the year, and then they kind of played better. Like the defense was playing better of late, but in the beginning of the year it was real rough. Like they didn't have no cohesion on offense really. It was just him and CeeDee Lamb, no run game, and the defense got smacked on many occasions early in the year, and then it just spiraled downhill. And then Mike McCarthy got fired, obviously, and what did the Cowboys looking like realistically? Like I don't even know. I could see them only winning like maybe 6 games, 7 games.
I think the biggest, thing that they got a new coach. So I think that may take some pressure off of Dak because it's really what is this coach going to do with them? It's for once it may not. He may catch a break. Now I got a new coach and this is what's happening and I don't know.
Yeah, right. There's a process, and we got to find our groove, right? So in the beginning of the season, we'll be 0-3, but like we're finding our groove, and we're not ass. We're just like not there yet. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely what some shit I can hear, like some excuses for why the Cowboys are just a terrible football team. Daniel, what do you think?
I mean, they needed to improve their defense. They didn't. They needed to get CeeDee Lamb another weapon, another receiver. They didn't.
Wait. They did get George Pickens.
Stop.
George Pickens is a good receiver.
Stop.
He is a good receiver. We have to make.
He's a good receiver. He's a good receiver, but and I know, and Jess knows they needed more. Okay.
Because he will crash.
Did not do that.
At some point. He will
crash out. You don't know how healthy Dak is. I mean, I can't see the justifiable reason that you could say this team's going to be good. I mean, you really can't. And you don't know how, like, Dak has an injury list as extensive as Tua's at this point. It's getting to that point where you can't rely on him to play for 18 games and into the playoffs. And that defense is still bad. It's still bad. Like, they made no improvements in that area. You can't expect it to be better. So it's like, what did this team really do this offseason that really makes them stand out as a better team that's better than the Eagles or the Commanders? So I don't know. Like I truthfully don't have much to say about the Cowboys because they didn't really do much different. It's still the same Cowboy team, and Brian, what the hell is his last name? Schottenheimer. Is he the needle mover? Probably not. And like I'm not saying like I don't think this team's going to be the worst team in the NFL, but I don't see them being near the top end of a playoff team or even a Super Bowl team. So if you're Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, what was the point? You would run it back if you had like a decent team. You did not have a decent team, so you're running it back with the same mid team. You're gonna have the same mid results. So I don't know. I thought it was really, really weird what the Cowboys did, and kind of surprising in some degree. But I don't know. Maybe with Dak being healthy, they'll win a couple more games. But you can't even say that to be true. So I don't know. It's a really weird situation, and I don't know how. I don't know how you look at it and you could say, "Oh, the Cowboys are a better team than they were last year." They're not. So I don't know. They'll be fine. But is that good enough for the Cowboys? Probably not.
What about 7 wins?
As a neutral, you have to accept that. As a Cowboy fan, you can't. That's the problem. As an ESPN analyst, you can't. That's not entertainment.
Oh, Stephen A. is gonna have a field day though. He's gonna have a great time.
He will.
He would love.
This is all Green's been talking about for the first half an hour of Get Up. Why are the Cowboys so bad? What's going on this year with them?
Dak has won less games than Brock Purdy. We really gonna sit here and tell me you deserve $60 million? You gotta really come on. It's unacceptable. It's horrid. It's putrid. Oh, ew. Dude, Jess, what do you think? How many wins do the Cowboys get?
8.
Yeah, fair.
It's fair. Maybe 9.
Maybe. On some good weeks, they get upset.
I think 8 is realistic.
You know what?
But what's their wait? What's their schedule?
Let's look at their schedule. Let's look at their schedule. How about that? That's a great idea. Okay, 3-3 in division. We know how this works. They start with the Eagles, then they play the Giants. They play the Bears.
That's a loss. Respectfully.
They play the Packers. They play the Jets. Ooh. They play the Panthers. Commanders, Broncos. That's a loss. Cardinals. Raiders. They could beat the Raiders.
They could beat the Raiders.
Eagles. Chiefs. That's a loss. I think that's Thanksgiving too.
Oh yeah, it is.
For sure, yeah. That's a loss. Lions. That's a loss. Vikings. That's a loss. Chargers. And then the end, Commanders, Giants. I see 7 to 8 wins. Nothing's changed.
Maybe.
Could be.
A lot of on that schedule. I don't know.
Dude, they might win 5. Honestly, they might win 5.
It's a tough ass schedule. It's not fucking easy. It's really tough.
I mean, the only gimme is the Raiders and the Giants one time.
And then the Panthers, maybe.
Maybe they play the Jets. They play the Jets.
Whoa!
They play the Jets.
Whoa! I think they got it. I think the Jets got that.
Is that in MetLife? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is, right?
That's right.
They got to come to New York twice. That's crazy.
Yeah. Of course you do. That's right. That's right. Home field advantage, man.
In New Jersey,
home field. The real
in the air conditioner.
The real New York, Jersey.
How many more Cowboy fans are gonna be Jet fans over there? I'll tell you that much.
Oh man! But let's get to the next team. Commanders. They shocked the fuck out of me. How many wins they had? 12. Yeah, they're really fucking good. And Jaden Daniels is that guy. He's shown that he can lead a team to the playoffs and lead them to bigger and brighter things. And he's shown a lot of promise with his throws and his running ability. And the offense was really good, catered directly towards what he likes to do best. And that defense played well. Under Dan Quinn is a seasoned head coach. He went to the Super Bowl, right, the year that the Falcons went. So he's not new to leading a team to the playoffs and leading them to potentially a championship. He's not new to this. So he was able to take a ragtag group of guys who bought in to his system, bought into him, bought into the culture, and they showed out. And they played way above expectations. And now, if they take a dip, right, in wins, they did regress, but like nobody really expected them to win 12 games to begin with. So is it real regression? Or is this just what their status quo is going to be for the foreseeable future, right? So for me, they shocked the fuck out of me. Jaden Daniels is the truth. keep him healthy, keep him protected, and you got your franchise guy for years to come. Washington, they're making the path to being actual competent organization. No more Dan Schneider. Finally, some peace in the organization. Finally, a chance to win games. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I think we severely undersold Dan Quinn because I think we also have to shout out Cliff Kingsbury and what he did with this offense and what he did with Jane Daniels. Because we all expected, oh, Dan Quinn will get fired. It'll be Cliff Kingsbury's job. Why would Cliff Kingsbury take the demotion to offensive coordinator? But like you said, this whole team bought in, coaches and players. Regardless, they all bought in. They all went under the assumption that they were going to win, and they did. Um, yeah, I think Jaden Daniels just absolutely is the reason why they went as far as they did. Proving he's at least a top 10 quarterback right now. He could do pretty much anything. There were a lot of concerns that he proved wrong. And I think this team goes to as long as he's on the field. He did a lot with nothing, and they got better this offseason in the offense in that regard. And it's hard to say they won't be a more improved team. I think in the playoffs they kind of ran out of gas and they kind of ran into the wall a little bit. But I mean, Jane Daniels got over two major hurdles. He won in the NFL and he won a playoff game in the NFL. He knocked out two very important things right away, and you could kind of maybe expect a sophomore slump. It happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Well, like you said, I can't see them dipping to no more than 10, 11 wins. This is still a really solid football team. It's well coached. They seem to be a great group with a great culture. It's a good vibe down there. You don't really hear a lot of problems coming out of there. And it's just a really well-run team right now. And I think part of that goes to Dan Quinn. A lot of it goes to Jalen Daniels and his play and what he's been able to accomplish. And I think, even if there is somewhat of a regression, it won't be that bad. It could be maybe like a CJ Stroud effect, where he had a bad year, but he brought him to the playoffs and he won a playoff game. He still has that instinct. So that's kind of going to be what I'm going to look at and see what his second year is going to be, and if he regresses, how bad it's going to be, if it's going to be bad at all. So I'm still high on this Commander team. I think they're really good. I think they're really solid. I think they're a little bit better than they were last year. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Jess, how you feel?
I mean, I don't know if I'm as high as you are on them. I feel like we obviously underestimated Jaden Daniels. We underestimated them all. We did, but I feel like they were almost on a high last year. New coach, new team, new quarterback, new ownership, brand new slate, fresh breath of fresh air. And, they trusted each other and they fucking ran this wave, all the way into the playoffs and, like you said, winning a playoff. But I think, this second year is going to be a real tell-all. I won't be surprised, and there probably will be some type of sophomore slump. And there is a chance that they may not win 12 games. They could probably win 9 or 10. Because they still, they still have the Eagles. There's a lot of there's serious competition where they are. So I don't think they're going to fall off, but I don't know if they're going to have the same effect that they had last year. I think I have a bit more doubt. I don't think they'll be terrible, but I don't know if he's going to... CJ Stroud, as high as he was in his rookie year, and yeah, the team wasn't that great, and but they still made that run. I think if they had challenges, the Commanders are going to have challenges. They're not going to be immune to shit. I think, we should be careful with the hype. Because he's still young. He's only in his second year. A lot of things can go wrong. Especially if you start losing. Because then you're going to see what it's really like. How they're really going to deal with, how is he leading when they're losing? That's an adversity he hasn't came up with yet. So, and that may come this second year. So, we'll see. I'm not as high on them as everyone else. I think It can go 50-50, to be honest.
How many wins? 9 or 10? 8? 7?
No, I'll give them 10, and I think that's pushing it.
I honestly think that's
I'm gonna argue.
pretty fair.
I'm gonna argue. Bit of a hot take from Jess right there.
Really? You
A
think
bit of a hot take.
Wow.
Oh, but I mean, I doubt it. I don't know.
I mean, I would more tend to agree with Jess, only because like 12 wins, that's a lot of games to win each year, and that's only like the truly elite teams are able to do that year in and year out. So if they do that this year, if they win 12 games again, they're truly one of the elite teams.
And they're legit.
And they're
I'll
legit.
be like, you know what? It's their shit. It's their division to win.
Yep.
But I feel like we got to see more consistency. You know, it can this season could have easily been a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
It could easily go back into like truly like
I know what Daniel wants to do.
Growing pains of transitioning to a better organization. But you know,
Just know what we should do?
We should look at their schedule.
We should look at their schedule.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Okay. So, all right. They are 3-3. They start with the Giants. They play with the Packers in Lambeau. They play the Raiders. They beat the Raiders. They play the Falcons. They beat the Falcons. They play the Chargers in LA. I'm more inclined to say they could probably win that game.
Yeah.
They play the Bears. They could beat the Bears. They play the Cowboys. They can beat the Cowboys. They play the Chiefs in Arrowhead, respectfully. They play the Seahawks. They could beat the Seahawks. They play the Lions.
I mean, they did beat the Lions last year.
They did.
Nothing's out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? So
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs as well.
They did. They beat. They play the Dolphins. They play the Dolphins in overseas.
Ooh.
They probably beat the Dolphins. They play the Broncos.
Last year. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They play the Broncos.
Tough game.
That can go either way.
Tough game.
That can go either way. They play the Vikings. They could beat the Vikings. Giants, Eagles, Cowboys,
either way
Eagles.
For the Broncos, but they would lose. They would win against the Chargers. You don't think it'd be the same thing?
I think the Broncos are a better team than the Chargers right now.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I think Broncos are better than Chargers, 100%.
I mean, I could see.
It's close, Jess. It's not that far off, but I just think I like the Broncos more, and I think they're better. That's just me.
I think I'm more on the Chargers.
They could lose both those games. Honestly, they could lose both those games.
Because
it's a tough road schedule.
Really good fucking team, and then the Broncos have a elite defense, and they got even better. So.
And I think that Bronco game's off their bye too, so that could be another part of it too. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I could see 10, I could see 11, I could see 12, I could see 9. I think it's a good year, regardless.
I think last year a lot of teams underestimated them, so they didn't prepare the right way for them. I don't think they're gonna blindside anyone this year. So I feel like the teams that. Like the Lions, I don't think they expected anything from them. I think they underestimated them. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think they took this league by storm last year. They surprised everyone. And people were expecting them that they would lose this game. But I just feel like they're more prepared now. They're not going to shock any. Like, unless they get 12 or 13 wins, I don't think they're going to, like, shock anybody. Like they'll be good, but I don't think I don't think it's gonna be like last year, to be honest. I don't know.
And
it's gonna be harder, I think.
That's the knock on Cliff Kingsbury and his system. When he was with the Cardinals, the first year they were a playoff team. They were a really good team with Kyler Murray. The next year, fell off a cliff. Right? Texas A&M, they were always mid. They were never a good team. This year with the Commanders, amazing. Haven't seen a system in a little bit. League don't know how to adjust. Second year, I don't know. System could fall off a cliff. They see everything better. They know what you're going to do because it's the same shit. And it's hard to get away with it for 2 years back to back. You got to reinvent the wheel a little bit. So, I don't know. Jess, fair point. I don't know.
I give them 10 wins.
I think
They're gonna, and I'm not gonna even say those are easy 10 wins. I think last year they were on a little bit of a high. This year's a bit more reality check, so we'll see.
We'll see. And then
Very interesting team.
we have the
easiest team in the
Eagles.
division.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
Yeah, I mean,
Super Bowl champs.
I mean, look. I'll keep this short and sweet. They're winning the division. They're the best team in the NFC. Go ahead. I have nothing else to add.
They won the Super Bowl. I was correct about that. I want some money from the
I
Eagles.
wasn't. At all. I picked against them every time, I think.
And you know what?
I
want some good money, so I'll take it.
I think they'll be great. I don't know if they're going to repeat. I think they may not even make it back to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'll be as I mean, they got Saquon. They would have to. I think. I just have a feeling that they may struggle. Not terribly, but I feel like it's not going to be as smooth just because you're Super Bowl winners. You know, that team, we said this last year, that team has like a lot of in-house problems. They just don't let the in-house problems like dictate a lot of their shit. That doesn't mean it won't trip you up. You know, I was shocked. It would look nothing greater than what they did last year was to defeat the Chiefs. No one, like, that was a beautiful thing to watch. It was amazing. But I would even dare to say that the Chiefs ran out of gas themselves. They struggled. They won all the games throughout the season to get there, but they were like barely hanging on in some of these things. So I think the Eagles, I'm not going to say they caught a break. They capitalized on the fact that the Chiefs were not, you know, they were a little bit tired. They were tired, a little bit beat up. I think they, you know, they smelled blood in the water. They did what they had to do. Sirianni fucking got that ass hot, like, took out the belt. But I don't know if they're going to, like, win the Super Bowl again.
Okay.
What are you doing?
He already said what he needs to say. Deo doesn't need to say anymore. He's reading the book. Let him read.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing my AJ Brown impression right there. Look, they're brothers who fight. They're brothers who fight. This the MO of this team.
I don't expect a serious drop off. Like they need to win. Like, that's a team who I expect to win 12, 13 games. Like, anything less than that, it's kind of like, what happened? I think they will be a great team. I just don't know if they're going to repeat. That's like, I just don't know if they're going to repeat.
If I had to guess how this season will go for the Eagles, I think they'll start out struggling because the last, what is it now? Now Jalen Hurts is going to have his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 years. A great way to start your career, by the way. Just always changing coaches, never no continuity. Isn't it great? Just always having somebody new and new ideas and never getting that continuity with anybody. Isn't it great? So I think there will be some early struggles. I think they'll still win games, but it won't look as clean or as dominant as it typically does later on in the season. So in the beginning of the season, I do expect them to, you know, try to find their way, right? And maybe they need a wake-up call. Maybe they need to lose a game, you know, for Nick Sirianni to go and be like, what the fuck, boys? Like, we got to get our shit together, man. We're Super Bowl champs, man. You know, all of that. And maybe they need something to fuel their fire. But I do expect this team to win like 13, 14 games. Like, this team is a creme de la creme team. They have the top-tier talent, and they know how to develop rookies. and they still have Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts. The offensive line is still best in the league. Defensive line is probably top 2, top 3 in the league. The whole defense is the number 1 defense in the league. As long as the coaching is there and they can execute on the field, I don't see who beats this team really in the NFC, at least. Maybe in the AFC there's somebody there.
Yeah, listen, I said I don't think they would repeat the Super Bowl. I didn't say that they wouldn't get there.
Yeah.
They may still be the dominant team in the NFC. I just don't know if they can repeat the Super Bowl. I do think that they're not. I don't know if they're going to come in. Just because I think they'll have challenges. I don't know if they're going to start off sluggish, because I feel like, unlike every other teams where it's like, or a lot of other teams where it's like, well, we won the Super Bowl so we can like kind of relax. I feel like their mentality is more on the lines of, we won the Super Bowl and we don't want fucking people to think that we're a fluke. Like, we're not going to like slide back. Like, we're not going to like let up. I think their mentality should remain the same. I think they have that type of grit in them. I think the Chiefs, they were like, no, the Super Bowl's ours and we're just going to win, and it's like they expected it. Like, they're entitled to, like, they carry that type of like snobbiness almost. And I think the Eagles are a bit more chip on their shoulder. Like, they still think that we shouldn't be here. They still think that we shouldn't be Super Bowl winners. They still think that our push to should not be here. Like, they're still going to act like underdogs. They're still going to behave as if they have something to prove. So that they don't... And I think that's going to be done intentionally. Like, they're not going to get comfortable. Like, when you saw Saquon tell them on... Like, they're winning the Super Bowl. Like, they're winning the game. And he's telling his teammates, calm down. Don't get excited yet. I feel like that is not just you do that in the heat of the moment. That's a mentality you carry with you all the way. And I feel like next year they may be like, let's not get too excited. Yeah, we won the Super Bowl last year. But let's just not automatically think that it's going to be handed to us. And I think that's what the Chiefs were thinking over these last few years. Which is why they treated the Eagles the way they did when they showed up. They act like they weren't at the game. We don't need to show up. It's the Eagles. Like, we beat them before. But we won all these games this year. Like, we don't have to work hard. We don't have to. And then they ended up getting their asses whooped. I don't think the Eagles are going to have that same, like... It's me, I'm here, move out the way. I think it's going to be like, no, I have to push you out the way. So I do think they had that going for them. I just don't know if they'll repeat. Because I do think someone else in the AFC may actually take the Super Bowl.
Josh Allen with fully married now. Potentially. Finally.
Great wedding pics to the Allens.
Great wedding pics. Great couple. Love the couple. Great couple.
Well, I was thinking more on the lines of actually probably Lamar Jackson. That the Ravens would finally fucking come over this hump.
It would fucking be finally time. Jeez. Thank you, Lamar, for finally.
But but I feel like when you say that, every time I think I want to go with either another AFC team, it's like, well, I can't. You still have to fucking beat Patrick Mahomes. So it's like, why are we talking about Super Bowl with these other two teams? It's like, you can't get out the fucking conference.
Yo, honestly, Jess has the most on-perfect takes every time we try to bet against the Chiefs. Her response is like, but it's Patrick Mahomes.
Like,
and she's always right.
Daniel, how can you bet against that light-skinned brother? How can you bet against the biracial persuasion,
Look,
brother?
It's not glazing. It's the truth, though. They can't win against him. They can't.
They really can't. You're right.
But you know what the best part is? You know what the best part is? I finally believe and I take him and he shits the fucking bed. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I bet against this motherfucker for a month. For a month straight I bet against this guy. And when I finally believe in him, he shits down his leg. What do you do with it?
Well, I think the whole team shit the leg. Because he tried to come alive in the end. He was finally showing glimpses of, wait, I'm Patrick Mahomes. But I feel like the whole team.
Yeah, but he's the quarterback,
up.
so he's the face.
Well,
he has to bear the responsibility.
Yeah, of course. But still, the whole team showed up sluggish. The whole team went up like. They went in there with a total like it's ours and we don't have to work hard for it, because that's how you played. Like you didn't come out with any type of fire, any type of like you were just like, yeah, we're here. So it was
We'll
kind
talk
of
more about
like
the Chiefs when we
they were not well prepared.
Well, you know.
They were not well practiced. They didn't. It's like we're just going home. That's how they treated the Super Bowl. We're just going home.
Somebody picked the Eagles to absolutely smoke them.
You did.
I thought the Chiefs were gonna silence the critics and be like, no, this is our dynasty, and we are gonna win. I wasn't going for the Chiefs, but I thought that they would win. And it was the greatest thing in the world to watch them lose.
And Jalen Hurts won the MVP of the Super Bowl, too. Which made it even more validating because everybody was like, oh, he fucking can't even throw 100 yards. What the fuck?
Motherfucker.
And then Saquon
Who said that?
shit.
Who said that? Huh? Who ended up talking about that? That wasn't me, right? I didn't say that. Definitely didn't say that. Nah, not me.
Yeah, I think it was.
No way.
A little bit. Yeah. You were like, what the fuck? Saquon's the guy. Just give the ball to him. Jalen Hurts don't gotta do shit. He don't gotta do much. He's good, but like
You don't gotta do much. Yeah.
Oh wait, but the key to the Eagles' success is they can't be injured this year. You got to keep Saquon as healthy as possible. You got to keep Jalen healthy. Like injuries will take you out, so I think that should be their concern. Maybe not necessarily your competition, but just staying healthy. And you have to live to fight another day.
Saquon's on the
You're
cover of Madden.
You're not going nowhere with a busted ass running back, huh?
He's on the cover of Madden, so let's hopefully the curse doesn't bite him in the calf or anything. God forbid. Please.
Wasn't Christian McCaffrey on the Madden cover?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, he was. Yeah, it was not great, and the game was shit too. That even made it worse. Like, you were shit, and also the game was shit. It's not even like the game was fun. So like we feel bad for you. You know what I mean? But
anyway,
I don't know if I'm a betting man. I pick the Eagles to get out of the NFC again. And to be honest, yeah, barring any injuries I'm taking the Eagles over any team right now. Like for me, there's no team that stacks up perfectly against them that I feel as though can beat them when it matters most in the playoffs. I just don't see that happening. And it sucks because I'm a Giants fan. I don't want them to win. I want the Eagles to be the worst team in the league.
But I feel like who else is okay? So, but look at the Eagles' competition in the NFC. The top. I don't think the Lions are going to beat the Eagles. I just don't think they can. I think that
I would have loved to see that playoff matchup.
They lose bad. They lose like sort of like shameful how they lose, but and like the Niners, we don't know what they're going to be like. The Cowboys ain't coming for you. So it's like
unironically,
the Vikings,
the Rams are their biggest competition.
Unironically,
the Rams, okay, but the Rams can easily have a shitty season too. It's like
the Rams were one play away. They were right there in that game in Philly.
Unironically,
they were right there.
I think it's the Commanders that have the best chance of beating them. Unironically, when you have that X factor in Jane Daniels, anything is possible. Right, and then they beat the Lions last year too. Don't get that twisted. So they're more than capable of winning these big time games and making these big time plays. And Jane Daniels looking good in those games too.
Yeah, but when we saw that matchup, they fucking demolished them. That wasn't even a game. It was over by halftime.
That is true. But like for me, the Rams, I like it, but it just for me. I don't think the Rams are going to beat the Eagles because their defense just ain't good enough.
I agree. I still think personally, because we didn't see the matchup, and I genuinely believe it would have been a different outcome if the Lions if the Lions played them. I think the Lions have their best chance. I think that defense is just perfectly going to match up against it. I think offensively they both even each other out, and I think. I just feel like the Lions have the better team to face off against the Eagles than anybody else in the NFC right now. Honestly, I don't see any other team roster-wise, player-wise, coach-wise that can match up better with the Eagles right now than the Lions. That's only how I see it. So, I mean, I get the Commanders argument, I get the Rams argument, but I just feel like the Lions, it's tough because we didn't see that playoff matchup, and it probably would change my answer. But I still think because we didn't see it, I think the Lions have the best chance to do it.
But remember, the Lions also had a lot of changes in this offseason. They
They
lost
did.
some, like, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. These are key pieces. So we don't know. I don't know how high I'm going to be on the Lions this season. Like, I expect them to be good. But when you lose people like that actually help turn the organization around, if you don't fill in those gaps the right way, if you don't get proper coaches to replace these two, you may not, I don't know how, their season may be a little bit of a struggle bus.
And also,
Closer to the struggle bus. Not on the struggle bus, but they could be closer to the struggle bus.
and the Eagles play the Lions November 16th. That's a primetime game.
So we'll see where they are. I think that game will depend on where they are in the season. If both teams are on fire, it's going to be excellent. If one of them are having a shitty season so far, it's going to be a wipeout. It's going to be, nothing to write home about.
Yeah. So how many wins do the Eagles get? 13? 12? 14?
I would say the least that they should get is 13. Oh, wait. No. What's their schedule?
I got you right now. I got you. So we got 3-3 in division. They play the Cowboys week 1. They play the Chiefs after that on my birthday. Hey yo.
We're watching on your birthday?
We're watching it on the birthday, and I'm picking the Eagles to win because they made me a lot of money, like a lot of money.
We're going out for that.
Yes, we are. And then next week they play the Rams. Then they play the Bucks. Then they play the Broncos. Then they play the Giants. Then they play the Vikings. Then they play the Giants again. Then they play the Packers. Then they play the Lions. Then they play Cowboys, Bears, Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Tough schedule, but they're a really good team. For me, I think the lowest that they can be is probably 10 wins. And that's a hella underachieving.
That's a catastrophe.
That is a catastrophe if that happens.
That's everything goes wrong.
Games could easily turn into losses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Especially if the Commanders are doing very well. Especially if the Lions maybe found a way to be okay after losing key pieces. I feel like 10 is the lowest they can go. The lowest they can go.
Because after 10, you're getting into territories where you don't even win the division because the Commanders might be better than you. Sorry, wild card
This is
team.
why I was saying that, I don't see them necessarily repeating a Super Bowl because I think they will end up catching a ball somewhere.
That's fair. And it's
it's
mad
possible
hard to win back-to-back, too. Mad hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It's possible, but them in the playoffs is a different beast than them in the regular season. And I could see them matching up with the right teams again and just going another run again. I'll meet you in the middle. I see maybe 12 wins on that schedule. They win a division with that number. Maybe it's not. They probably don't win the NFC with that. Maybe they finish second or third. But I don't see a situation where they truly have a struggle in the regular season and they just are ready for the playoffs. That's kind of how I see it. The Commanders might be sniffing down their throat with 12 wins, but I think they probably have the division comfortably. I think it's another, not coast, but there's still going to be problems and talked about, but they'll be fine on the field. They're brothers who fight, so they'll be fine.
That's right. And Jalen Hurts, he has the haters in his back pocket now. He's taken the monkey off his back. He's like, I already won a ring. So now I guess maybe you'll play more freely and maybe try to be better. I don't know.
I feel like we're going to witness how much this win makes Sirianni grow as a coach. Because it's going to be his job to keep the team together when they're fighting each other, when their injuries come along. Like, because if you're trying to go for a Super Bowl and you want to go for a repeat, you have to start getting into your Andy Reid bag. You have to start really, like, fucking elevating your game, elevating your coaching staff, like, finding ways to win when it seems like you can't win it, like, having Jalen Hurts pull plays out of his ass. I feel like it's really going to be more about him, how he carries the team instead of, like, I actually don't have any worries about Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he has any qualms. I don't think he's scared, shooks, like, got something to, like, I feel like he's okay. And I think he'll be fine. I just think it's more on the coach. Because he is such a personality. Like, he's a thermostat. Like, I don't think he's one of these coaches that are, like, permissive and passerby and, like, yeah, you do what you want. I feel like, no, he walks into the room. He's one of these coaches, like, he gets your attention. You know, he's definitely peculiar. But I feel like, you know, it's going to be on him. If you want your team to repeat and go back to the Super Bowl, it's about the fucking coaching.
Yeah. And Nick Sirianni, every year he's been in Philly, made the playoffs. So that is the standard. You have to make the playoffs.
Look, you've already been to the Super Bowl twice. You finally won one. So that's what I'm saying. We have to see, like, a huge growth in him now.
Every year, we've always said that he's a minute away from being fired. And every year he comes out with a winning season. Every year we say it. So maybe he'll get fired this year. I don't know.
You fire him, you're real fucking stupid.
In that case, come to the Giants. I would love to have Nick Sirianni in New York. Please, thank you for the love of God.
Look, I think they fire him at 12 p.m., 12:05. He's already moving to his new spot.
Whew.
I feel like a lot of
in Jersey,
would
baby,
let go of their coaches for him.
I will say we're all forgetting about one thing.
Huh.
What?
This is the tush. They're pushing. Okay.
Oh, they're gonna win a lot of games off that tush push.
It's not repealed. They're gonna keep doing that shit. You know, I think it's high time now that just other organizations, you just have to find a way to stop it. Like, that's it. Stop crying about it. It's football. Find a way to stop it.
And there we go. That's been the NFC East review. There we go. We did it. We reviewed my division.
All right.
I mean,
predictions, because I think we're all pretty much going to be on the same wavelength.
All right. Let's see who's last. I think I have an answer.
The Giants.
Yeah, probably. But if things go right and the Cowboys start to slip, I could see third. I could see a third. So I wouldn't be.
I mean, look, if you guys could get 8 wins this year, I think it's entirely possible. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Cowboys finish last. Giants,
wow.
They go third. Commanders second. Eagles first. Boom. Big hot take.
Look at you go.
Oh, I'm so brave for that. Very brave. So brave.
I will say, if everybody's healthy, Giants, Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles.
Wow. Just like it was last year. Huh?
Riveting.
Riveting journal.
Jess, what do you want me to do? What does that face?
Jess,
what do you want me to do? You want me to say the Eagles are going to implode? What?
But why would you put the Eagles last?
No, I put the Giants last.
Oh, no, he went from last to the top.
Oh, because I'm like, wait, that was told backwards. Okay,
could you imagine? Look, I'm bold. I ain't that bold. All right? I ain't that crazy. So I ain't that delusional.
I was about to say, I can't do it anymore, Daniel. We have to talk about our friendship because I can't.
Son, I paid Daniel $1,000 to say that live. You almost
and
bought
then
it.
Not change
and not change it.
If you would have asked me $1,000, I would have did it. I would have straight up did it, and I would have ran with it the entire fucking season. I wouldn't have said a damn word. You could have paid me $1,000, and I would have ran with it the whole season. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would do that shit for money. You kidding me?
So Jess, what are you thinking?
What's your riveting division review?
It's pretty much the same
prediction.
as Lewis's. I think it would be Eagles, Commanders. I feel like Cowboys, Giants could swap. But it would honestly... I'm going to say Eagles, Commanders, Giants, Cowboys.
7 wins, baby. Here we
Cowboys
come.
got a new coach, and they can't help but underperform. And I feel like the Giants, the coach is going to be playing for his job. Russell's going to be playing for, like, just respect for his reputation. I think as dysfunctional and misguided as the Giants were last season, I think they're I just feel like the Cowboys are just Jerry Jones. You just can't take them seriously. You just can't. You can't. And I think the Giants are actually trying to do something. They're trying to make up for what happened last year. So I feel like they're a bit more motivated. They're a bit more, they want to prove something. I feel like the Cowboys just know they're in a circus and they can't get out.
Maybe Jerry Jones is just waiting for the Cowboys to finish fourth so we can finally get rid of the team.
Oh, thank
Maybe that's it.
Jesus. Because
maybe he has a pact that he can't sell the team unless he finishes fourth.
Please, Jerry, please.
If the Lakers go for $10 billion, how much do the Cowboys go for? They make more money than the Lakers.
Probably. Oh, what is their valuation now? Probably close.
I think their valuation now is at $10 billion.
They're at $11 billion. They're more than the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they wanted to sell it, he could sell that shit for fucking $15 billion.
Yo, this is crazy. Every NFL team is valued at over $5 billion. That's crazy.
Well, think about it.
Wow.
They're the state. First of all, they gather a larger audience because the seating, just location. The regular, what's the average size of an NBA arena? 18,000 seats.
Yeah.
Give or take.
You can fit 75,000 people at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
So it's like the money is just different in the NFL.
No, they don't.
Maybe not the Giants, but fucking Cowboys sell out.
The Jets. What are you talking about, Jess? What are you talking about? You think the Jets are packing out MetLife Stadium?
But what I'm
There's
saying
going to be
is
more Cowboy fans there than Jets fans.
Listen, if they ever catch some steam, they definitely could sell out MetLife. And the other stadiums, the other teams that do sell out their stadiums, that aren't as good as the Cowboys, but they make more money than NBA teams.
That's fair.
The NFL, they just have because of their sample size and because of just the revenue they can bring in for each game, it makes sense that they shouldn't be no less than $5 billion.
Yeah. But you know what doesn't make sense? Why is SHEDEUR Sanders going 100 in Cleveland, Ohio?
He's young.
Why is he going 101 miles an hour in a car?
He's young and dumb.
I thought Dion coached him up. What happened to that? Huh?
It doesn't matter because Dion was once young and dumb, and you can have the perfect coaching, but when your brain is not fully developed at 21, 22, yeah, you're still going to make some dumbass decisions.
But you know what's funny? He did it not once. Twice.
That's what young and dumb people with money do. And it's only because his name is Sanders is that you know about it. Do you think he's the only person on that team that got 2 fucking speeding tickets? Let's be realistic.
No.
Yeah, but
he's the only rookie.
No.
You have to, but guess what? You have the spotlight on you since you're drafted as a quarterback, and your father is Deion Sanders.
Smart. Like I agree, you have to be
and
smart.
you're already fighting an uphill battle after what happened in the draft and what team said about you and how you acted during your interviews. This isn't adding to that reputation.
Oh yeah. But, I mean, you got to fight your battles. I mean, he can't think of everything. He's young, stupid. I mean, this is not uncommon. First, let's put things into perspective. It's not uncommon. And, yeah, of course he's got the spotlight on him. But in his mind, that's always going to be there, no matter what he does. He's always going to get the extra flack. He's always going to get the extra talk, the shit talking. It's like, my concern is fuck the football. You driving 100 miles an hour. That just You're risking your own life. So it's like you have to think about yourself for once in like a healthy way. But that's part of learning and growing. But no, he deserves the flack. He deserves the shit talking because it's not. You can't like that's just irresponsible. It's just dumb. No one should be
One
speeding like
time,
that.
one time, it's a dumb kid who made a dumb mistake. Twice, you're starting to get almost into a pattern.
But look, there are people who are adults who are like 35 years old speeding all the time.
And guess what they are? Stupid. So just
Yeah,
Sanders,
they are.
he's also very stupid. Like they're
Yeah,
every
he
single
is
one of them
stupid.
stupid. Like because we saw what happened to Henry Ruggs, right? Remember that? Not great.
But he was drunk.
Still, not great.
No, not great. But that's what I'm saying. You know, now that it's out in the open, he has no choice now but to kind of like, you know, deal with it and like make smarter decisions. This is all about growing up and having, you know, your growing pains. You shouldn't be speeding, first of all. And no, you shouldn't be speeding because now you are a professional about to get paid millions. You have a reputation. You're trying to get into a leader position as the fucking starting quarterback. So I mean, it's a growing lesson for him. You have to grow from this. If you get another speeding ticket, you should just get a driver. If you refuse to drive the right way, don't drive at all. You don't need to drive. You probably
but
grew up
Jess,
with tons of drivers. Get a
I like
fucking
car.
driver.
I like car when car go fast.
Yeah, car go vroom vroom and make pop sound. I go fast
Well,
on
get
highway.
your fucking
Nobody there.
testosterone under control. Get your testosterone under control and find another way to go vroom vroom safely. Like,
You know what?
no, I think
If he does get a driver, the driver just needs to get him like a little wheel in the back. Does nothing, but just give him a wheel. It's like an iPad for a kid. Just give him a little wheel and gas and brake and pretend like he's going fast. You know what I mean? He's like in the back, you know?
I mean, it's definitely I mean, two things can be true. He's not the only one. It's not uncommon to do speeding. But at the same time, it's like you can't no person, rich or poor or famous or not famous, should be speeding at 100 miles an hour. You're too selfish to think about other people, but bro, you can't be so selfish you don't think about yourself. Like you have to care about your life more. Like I don't need to speed at 100. Like I want to play in September. So let's not put myself in a position where that can possibly not happen.
True.
And you know what? He also got really lucky because I don't know what Cleveland state laws are, but if you go like 30 over the posted speed limit, it's considered criminal and you can be arrested for it. So getting written a citation twice, he got really lucky.
But that's what happens to most people. A lot of people just get tickets and they go about their way. When's the last person have you ever met anyone got arrested for speeding? I have never. I've never heard
If
of
you're
anyone
going
getting arrested for
101, if you're going maybe 10 to 15
But
over,
Daniel,
if you're going 101,
But have you
you are
seen
putting
it
everybody
happen?
else in danger.
But have you seen? I've never.
It should probably
I've
happen
heard-
more.
Listen, I've heard people get arrested for slapping, spitting, fighting, all types of shit, threatening. Never heard of anyone getting arrested and they can, but they don't do that. Cops do not go out their way unless you're drunk, because that's what they test for. Okay, you're speeding, come out the car. You're sober, you're just speeding, here's a citation. I'm not going to waste my fucking time bringing you in and doing paperwork for speeding. That's law enforcement's business for not arresting people that they should. But I've never heard that happen, and you're probably never going to hear it happen. Like, unless they're, like, dangerously, like, the cop sees you cut someone off speeding at 100, they're not going to arrest you for that. They just don't waste their time on that.
But also, like, if this is like a continuing thing, they can see like your previous tickets. So then they'll be like,
They can.
oh, this is a habit. Oh, so you haven't learned. All right, maybe a little time behind bars will probably help you out just a little bit. Make you real learn, right? That could be a thing. Because maybe I'm assuming like the people who generally like speed, they like chill out a little bit afterwards. Just a little bit sometimes. Maybe just a little bit.
No.
Or then they just don't get caught. There you go. But he got caught twice.
Get caught.
If you get caught a third time, I don't know. Maybe his ass will get thrown in jail. You know what I mean?
And I don't. And if you do get thrown in jail, so be it. If that's what it takes for you to learn a lesson, then hey, you asked for it. But the thing is, cops don't do that. They're looking for drunk drivers. They're looking for people who your car smells like weed. If he was not.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing, right? If he gets arrested, if he gets caught a third time, and he gets arrested for it, his NFL career is done. That's the irresponsibility of it. Before it even started. Like, his NFL career would be over before it even started. That's why I don't get it. If he was like a 5th year, 6th year pro, he was in the league for a little bit, he got in his bag a little bit, he got speeding a little bit, and he got pulled over. Alright. Almost ending your career before it even starting over a speeding ticket, and because you were speeding, that's not a great look.
Sober as well.
For a team that's looking for a reason to cut you.
I don't think he probably won't get arrested again. And even if he won't get speeding again. Like, they won't catch him. And I think if they do, I see what you're saying, but I honestly don't think that means your career is over in the NFL. They let abusers in the NFL. Your career's not. You're Deion Sanders' son. They'll talk shit about you. You'll get a big-ass fine. They'll drag you through the media for 3 months. You won't play. You won't start. You'll get a fine from the NFL. And then you don't drive for 6 months. No one's going to hear about it. Next season's going to happen, and you'll still be in the NFL.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. If I'm a guy in the NFL and I got some problems, I would want it to be speeding. Probably, right? Because the other problems, pretty fucking bad. You know what I mean? Just a little bit.
Pretty fucking bad, and you get to keep your job.
Yeah.
So they're not going to kick him out for speeding.
Yeah.
If he hits someone, that's different. You run your car into a pole, that's different.
Rasheed Rice. Even him, he's back.
He was in court, bro, during the season.
Doesn't
like,
matter.
stop.
Doesn't matter.
That motherfucker didn't get a fine from the NFL, didn't get benched, nothing.
The only
Andy Reid
reason
was still writing a place for his ass.
The only reason why Henry Ruggs is not in the league right now is because he actually killed somebody and got arrested.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. If he didn't,
he got caught.
He'd probably be in the league.
There was an NFL player who actually did kill, like, this was back, I think, in the 90s or maybe the early 2000s. I can't remember his name. Got into hit someone, killed someone, still played in the league. So, I mean, the NFL has got to be one of the most lenient fucking job places to work ever. It's one step being away from a cop. You can just do whatever you want. Don't get caught, even better. Don't give Roger Goodell a headache, even better.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
Whew. I was passionate. That was good. That was good. That was a good time. But you know what else was good? Jair Alexander signing with the Ravens. Good signing. Good signing by the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens just always get good defensive players when they're like a bit older and maybe a little bit washed, and like they somehow make them good.
Is he going to be the key to their? So they thought Derrick Henry was the key. Is he the key?
Yo,
who
Jess.
said that? Who said Derrick Henry was the key? Yo, who said that?
Yo, what's
who
up? What's up with this Ravens?
Me.
What's up with this Ravens sarcastic hate right now? I'm not liking it. Oh, Jair Alexander gonna be the key? Oh, is he gonna be the bottom or the top block? Oh.
I'm just saying, the Ravens. I'm ready for them to actually win. I'm ready for them to I want to see you get past the second round of the fucking playoffs. I want to see you win the AFC. Not that I want to see it because I'm a Jets fan. Let me rephrase that. But I think you're at the point now. I think you have enough pieces, and you are a great quarterback. You got a good coach. Like, how many more pieces do you need?
If Mark Andrews doesn't have butter on his fucking fingers, they beat the Bills in that playoff game. But because he had butter on his fucking fingers and dropped the ball in the end zone, they lost. They were that close.
But I feel like it's
If they're
always
wearing
been
actual
that.
gloves, exactly. They're right there. They have the team. Just when it comes down to that final moment, some shit happens to them, and they lose.
It's not good. I would rather
So
you
maybe
get. I would rather them get absolutely blown to smithereens by the Bills or the
I
Chiefs
disagree.
than lose like that year after
I
year
disagree.
after year. Like at least just get blown out, and then it's like, oh, you all played like garbage, but you were in these games, and then just the one minor shit happens year. This is insane. This is becoming insanity. The same shit.
So that's
happens.
what they have to find out. What is it? Is it the quarterback that's not fixing these little tweaks? Is it the team not pulling, like other position players not pulling like these little? Is it coaching that's missing these little foxes in the hole? Like, what is it? Because these are just like, because you're right, they are in the games. They don't show up and just get ran over. So it's like, why can't you? I honestly believe it's like you gotta look at coaching at some point. You know, there's like Lamar Jackson gets a lot of flack, but no one talks about this fucking coach half as much. And I think he needs, like, bro, you have a fucking 4-course meal in front of your face and you still can't get it done. Like we have to start questioning this guy. No one ever questions him. I hear the media like ESPN, Fox, all these anchors, it's always about Lamar Jackson. Always. Never about the coach. They fucking fucking quiet on this guy. They fucking shit on Sirianni. They question Kyle Shanahan. They even question Andy Reid. But fucking this Harbaugh. Do the Ravens even have a coach? No, because it's just Lamar's team. So I feel like you gotta get off of his back and start looking at the coach. What? Because you've been here now for a very long fucking time, bro. No one, like, how long has he been the Ravens coach?
He won the Super Bowl with them back when they played San Fran in the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. So he was the coach.
Wasn't that like a decade ago?
I think it was more than a decade.
Like 15 years ago?
I was in middle school when that happened. I was 6th, 7th grade.
What year was that?
All right. Do we want to take guesses?
I think it was 2012?
12?
2011?
Okay, so how many years has he been the coach of the Ravens? Take a guess.
Oh, probably like
head coach.
Head coach?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say
15,
probably like
16
15
years?
15 years.
17 years.
16.
Okay. Damn.
Oh, so I was closer. 17 years, 1 Super Bowl. Is that a good ratio?
Probably not.
Gets him in the playoffs. Hey. It's Mike Tomlin.
He's in the playoffs all the time.
Every year. You can't fire a guy like that sometimes.
I will say, though, Mike Tomlin, he did win 2. That's 2 of them. Maybe you give a little more
Hey, if you get 2 every 10 years, it's a good ratio.
But then it's like...
I feel like we have to start questioning him. You're the coach. Help your fucking quarterback. Help some... Like, I don't know, but I feel like... I don't want to... I think we need to get off Lamar, because we see him improve. We see him, like, you know, he is a clutch player. But there's sometimes, like, when he's not on the field and other people are on the field, they fucking it up. His receivers drop the ball, or like the defense let this go, or the fucking kicker. It's like he can't play every position. But you know who oversees all the positions? The coach. Coaches. Oral.
Hey Jess, you want to know something? There's a guy on YouTube by the name of Awful Coaching, and he doesn't blame the players for but for them doing bad things on the court. You know what he does? He's like, the coach, you're coached by a moron. That's why you're doing this. You're coached by a literal French fry. That's why you're not in the gaps on defense. I feel like we need to start bringing that mentality to the NFL. Like, the reason why you are not executed is because of this guy. He's not putting you in the best situation to win. All right? Just saying.
We'll get more into it when we get to the Ravens in the division review. But Jess brings up a great point.
Great point.
Because at some point, you got to start blaming coaches. When a team's
why
been
they
this
were
mid
on Mike Tomlin's ass for mad long. Because it's like, shit, bro. Like, can we get another?
Last year they wanted Sirianni fired.
Yeah, they're bugging.
They wanted Shanahan fired. They fired Saul in the middle of the season. Like every other coach gets your zip except for this guy. Every other coach gets questioned to death except for him.
I think we are getting to the point where if they don't make the championship game this year, he may be fired. I think we're at that point.
They didn't even talk about him being on the hot seat, bro. So how is he gonna get fired out of nowhere? Like they don't even. It's not even in the.
Well, I think after what happened last year in the team that they had, and now they're better this year than they were last year. You have to at least be a championship team next year. You have to. You have to get to that level. You can't stay where you are right now with the team you have right now. No way.
One could dream. Yeah, maybe. Right? Maybe they can, but certain trends, they just falter in the playoffs. They're great during the regular season. Really good. Probably one of the top 3 teams in the league. But once it hits that playoff time, they just seem to struggle. Now, is that a lack of weapons on offense for Lamar? Is that the defense just not showing up? Is it the game plan? Right? Like, is it the plays you're calling? Right? I don't know. We'll see.
You know what we can't even say? Can he beat Patrick Mahomes? Because he's never played Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs with this team.
That's true. It's always
Played
been
him
Josh
once.
Allen. It's always been Josh Allen, which is the funny thing.
He played him once. He played him one time that home game. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where Lamar bombed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the pressure got him or whatever, but that was the one time he played.
The AFC game?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the only time he played Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs?
Yep.
I think so.
And they...
Damn.
And the Ravens, they...
So it's only Josh who can't get past Patrick.
Yep.
Josh keeps playing his ass. Yeah, Josh, you too. We need to figure something out.
There's only one.
That coach is always... People talk about him getting fired. And he may actually get fired. I've heard rumors like that. So maybe... But yeah, Josh, you're married now. It's time to beat...
Hey.
Hey. You gotta put this guy to bed, Josh.
There's only one guy, Jess. There's only one guy who beat Patrick in the playoffs. This version of Patrick. One guy. Come on, you know who it is. Oh, she froze. She didn't freeze. Come on. You know.
I didn't freeze.
Yeah, you didn't freeze. I thought you did. Who's the one guy, Jess? Come on, you know him. You know him. You love him.
He's retired, right?
He's not retired. He's still playing. Plays in the same division as Lamar. With the Super Bowl.
Oh, my guy.
There you go.
And I am getting him this year in fantasy. I'm pissed I did not pick him last year. I can't even remember who my fucking quarterback was last year. But it should have been him.
Joe Burrow.
Joseph Burrington.
Joseph
Burrow. All right. Jess, do you know who what's his name?
He may not
Harrison Meeves. Do you know who Harrison Meeves is?
No.
I'm going to share my screen in a minute here.
Hockey guy?
Am I supposed to know then?
Assume he's a hockey guy.
Not
Okay.
Not a hockey guy.
Harrison Meeves.
Harrison Meeves.
Meeves. I have no idea who that is.
Okay. If you move into the stream, and you look at my screen, I'm going. This is the brand new New York Jet kicker.
I mean, look
that
at
they
this
signed
guy.
today.
Woo!
From the UFL. I saw this. Okay.
His nickname.
It's from the UFL, right?
From the UFL. His nickname, the Thicker Kicker.
I mean, look at this kid.
I mean, this is what it's all about right here. Honestly,
Are they gonna make him get in shape?
probably
Does he
not.
need to get in shape?
But listen, you know he got a leg on him. You just know he has a leg on him, Jess. And I ain't talking about chicken legs either. You know what I'm saying?
He don't got no leg.
How you know that? You see how thick you is? Come on, what you mean? He don't got no leg. He got
Cause sometimes looks like that are deceiving.
okay.
That'd be the one part that's
All
underperformed.
right,
That's
he don't just got
underwhelming.
leg. He got breast. He got thigh. He got wing.
He's fucking 5 months pregnant. That's what he is.
But he gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs a six pack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, he got that done in the UFL. Can you get that done in?
He's a kicker,
NFL?
Jess. He's not running. You're kicking a ball. You be alright.
Okay, but come on, you can't be in better shape though, a little bit.
Jess, when defensive linemen are 350 plus pounds, I
That's
don't
different.
think.
Look at
Who
okay.
cares? You
That's
don't need to
different.
have abs. And it's different with a kicker. They don't do nothing.
I
He
didn't
doesn't
say
need to be in shape.
I didn't say
He
you
is in
need to have
shape.
abs. I'm not saying. Let me make myself clear. I don't think kickers need to have abs. They don't need to be the most athletic person. But I still feel like you're a professional paid athlete. You should look like you're a fucking athlete. Nope.
Jess, the first field goal he makes, I know you're gonna change your tune and be like, well, maybe this fucking kid knows what he's doing.
I'm not saying he can't play. I never said he's going to be a bad kicker. That was not my critique. My
You
critique
just wanted to
is,
get rid of the rolls a little bit? Is that what you're saying?
you know, if I can go to the gym and slim down, I think you can go to the gym and like knock off a couple of pounds off that gut. That's all I'm saying.
I don't see a problem with it. I think it
You're a
looks great.
professional now.
I think he looks
You're a
great.
professional now.
I think he looks perfect, just the way he is. I don't think we should body shame him. I think he looks great. I think professional athletes come in any size.
Am I body
A
shaming?
little bit.
A little bit.
So I body shamed myself right into the fucking gym. All right, so I'm not gonna feel bad for other people. You get paid way more money, and you have access to great gyms, great trainers now. So what is the excuse?
Now, Jess, if he hits a 60-yard field goal and we win the game because of it, will you change your tune?
No, I would say thank you for the failure, but I'm still gonna be like, you should still, maybe shape
You know
up
what?
a
You know,
little, just a little.
this is why I love Jess. She sticks to her guns.
You know what,
No matter
Jess?
what.
I appreciate that.
Because I don't need to change my, because it doesn't core, it doesn't. Two things can be true. You could be a great kicker, and you can still like shave some of that off. Like like I said, you're a paid professional athlete.
But
Who
if
just
he's
stays
great
still?
at his job, it doesn't matter what weight he is. Doesn't matter. If he gets the job done, it doesn't matter.
And okay, what if he's not that great of a kicker? Are you guys gonna pretend that that's not?
Then
Like,
he's ass.
I'm gonna just say he's a terrible kicker. I'm not gonna say it's
He's
because of
ass.
his roles. Like, what are we talking about? It literally has nothing to do
I
with
would,
his
and
body.
I would say maybe if he was a bit more athletic, the gut wouldn't get in the way of the motion.
What is that even?
Yeah, like you got to twist and it can go over the
Yeah,
side.
like
Maybe he's leaning too far forward.
the top of his quad keeps hitting his fifth roll, and he just
I'm not the only one who obviously thinks this way. Because why do you think it kind of went viral? I'm not the only one who's like, wait.
it's like seeing a
This
rare
is the
Pokemon.
most-
That's what it is. It's a rare Pokemon.
This is the most Jets signing. Only the Jets do this. Like, understand? Like, this is the Jet move. This is what we do. We signed overweight kickers, and we think they're gonna work out. And he'll probably make the team, just because this is what the Jets do. I promise you that.
And you want to know something? Aaron Glenn looked at this kid and said, he fits our culture. That's right. Aaron Glenn
Right.
knows what's up.
Aaron, you're the guy. You're the guy. Let's see if you're
Hey,
right.
hey. If the kid can hit 60, I have no problem with it.
He could be any way he wants. He could do whatever he wants. We'll get
If he can consistently knock in 60, Do what you do,
We'll
Ken.
get him an Uber
Who am
Eats
I to
membership.
judge?
We'll get him a DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, another app. He could eat for free. Whatever he wants.
Whatever you on the sideline
On the sideline, you can have Burger King.
after every
That's if
kick.
he's good, guys. That's if he's
If
good.
he's good,
Guys, why are we saying
might be.
if he's gonna be great? Guys, what are we talking about?
anyway.
Oh shit! It's
Oh, God.
12:37
See-
a.m.
This is why I love the. Okay, we'll speed run the rest of the show. We're almost done. We're just gonna speed run it. But this is why I love the NFL offseason. It's the best.
Because there's always some
It's the
shit to talk about with the NFL. Always.
Always. Even the bullshit.
You-
All right. Anyway. All right. We'll speed run the rest of the notes. Panthers won the Stanley Cup. Shout out to them. Back-to-back champs. They already broke the cup. So that's fun.
How the fuck
They
broke
beat the
cup?
Oilers. So they were celebrating, and they were on the bus, and they were passing it around, and they like chipped the top of it. But it's not the real
it's a
Stanley
replica.
Cup. So there's
okay,
two
that's fine.
there's two Stanley Cups. There's the real one which they lifted above the ice. That's the real. That's legit. The fake one is the one that they take to the parades, and the tradition is the day with the
It goes
cup.
to
You know
each
what that
player,
is?
right?
Mhm. Yeah. So
Yeah, so each player gets their day with a cup. They can do whatever they want with it. You could drink out of it. You can put it in the pool. You could kiss it. You can make out. You can make love to it. Whatever you want to do with the cup. You could lay in bed with it for the whole day. It's up to you.
That's pretty fire.
It's your day with the cup.
That's pretty fire.
It gets passed around like a blunt at a party. Okay, everyone's touching on it. Everyone's got the lips on it. It's great.
Ew. Yo, the amount of things that cup has seen.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it.
I'm sure they
Mets
have to
suck.
sanitize that
Yankees
shit
are
every
better.
time.
Why wouldn't that suck?
Wait, what was that?
What was that, Jess?
So they probably have to sanitize that shit every time.
Nah, they leave that shit. They leave that shit. That they keep the memories in there. All right. Baseball. Mets suck. Yankees are somewhat decent. The Red Sox traded Rafael Devers to the Giants. I don't know what the Red Sox are doing. And 317 happened. We're gonna go for Bronx. And happy birthday, Jess.
Happy birthday, Jazz.
Thank you.
Yay.
My birthday was great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I had so much fun. Dinner was great. Dessert was great. You guys are such gentlemen. Shout out to Beanish and all
went-
my girls, Meredith and Liv, and my sister who came out.
We went axe
good.
throwing.
You went axe.
We did the great sport of axe throwing.
Of the whites of the whites.
And I was good. It was good.
You were really good.
You were really good.
Daniel was phenomenal.
I wonder why.
It's the Viking.
I don't think I have any Viking in me though.
You gotta have a little trace.
We all have. Look, the Europeans. There's Viking in all of them.
Listen, I'm Puerto Rican. There is a little Viking in me. All right, there's a little bit.
But it was good.
I loved it. It brought out stuff like, I feel like things like that, like axe throw, like holding an axe, like it brings out like a primal. I felt like I was like, yeah, and throwing fucking sharp shit at the fucking wall. I can kill someone with this. Brings out the savage. I feel like human beings, we gotta get in touch with our savage in a healthy way.
Jess,
right.
do you want to go to a rage room next?
Yeah,
Oh, we do a
they
race.
have a break room, but I want to try another place.
Oh, we shout out the place.
What was it called?
Live Axe.
Live Axe. There you go.
Live Axe in
on
the city.
Canal Street.
Great
Really
place.
was a good place.
Well, I found out. Guess what? My mom actually went there a few years ago with her job.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so she was having fun too.
Did she hit?
at that.
Did she hit bullseyes?
Yeah, she said she was actually pretty good.
You want to know why?
It's the white in her. It's the Viking.
All that.
It's that. It's
She was
that.
able to revel in her European genes.
Yo, I love how when we were in there, Jess was like, "Oh, this is why I need testosterone." Like I feel my primal instinct coming on. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, imagine there are people who wake up like how we like evolved over time. Men just waking up to go hunt shit. Just waking up like we gotta build a log cabin. Just fucking huff down trees and skin deer and bulls and
Just
fucking
you
white paint on their
do you
face.
go hunting?
Jess, you and Joe Rogan will have great conversations. I'm just saying.
You, Joe Rogan, and Aaron Rodgers would be best of friends.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I want to talk to them. I would talk to them, but not. It would take it somewhere. They would not even be about hunting anymore. They'd be about like some bullshit philosophy I'm not interested in. I just want to hunt. I want to. Oh, you know what we're doing next? Bow and arrow. You can find a place where there's bows and arrows.
I gotta be good at that sport. You wanna know why? My last name
Puerto Ricans.
is Arrow. My last name means arrow.
So the Fletcher means?
Yeah, it means arrow. I have to be good at this game.
Puerto Ricans?
And you know what? Yeah, cause like you know what's funny? I've never had nobody with that same last name as me. And so if that means arrow, like maybe back in the day, like you know, my people was cutting it up.
Your people were good for arrows.
Yo, they was cutting it
tribe.
up.
So I want to do that. And look, by my house on 65th Street. I shouldn't say where I live. I don't live on 65th Street.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Blur that. Blur that. Get the censor bar.
There's a shooting range.
Ooh.
Underneath CVS.
Oh, let's go. We're out.
Or above CVS. And I feel like, but I have to find out, because where we live in this tri-state area, I don't know if you can just like go into a gun range. I think you need to.
You probably need a license.
I don't know. I feel like I want to, because we don't have to do it in New York. We can go over to Virginia and just go right into any store and just like,
hell yeah,
like, you know.
Hell yeah, we'll go redneck with it. Hell yeah, we'll go right in the backwoods of America.
Shout out to the Second Amendment states
America.
keeping it real.
America, keep it real, baby. Come on.
Yeah. You know, for upholding the Constitution, and we're like, can we go to the gun range? Are we allowed? As taxpaying citizens, can we touch a gun? Oh my God. Are we allowed? Let's look it up. Let me Google it.
All right. Well,
what should the question be?
Can we fire a gun at a gun range in New York without a license?
yes. Yeah. Can you go to...
Or do you need a gun license to fire at a firing range in New York?
No, not go to a gun range in New York City to shoot a handgun or pistol without an NYC handgun license.
Yeah, I figured. Yep.
While you may be able to shoot long guns, rifles or shotguns, or .22 caliber rifles without a permit, handguns require a license.
That's bullshit.
So we can still shoot a gun. It just can't be a fucking handgun.
I'm gonna.
So we have to be there like Elmer Fudd.
That's bullshit.
I'm shooting a shotgun. No shot. I'm getting blown back.
Do you think it's because it's easier to like people want to like carry handguns? So it's
you want to know why? You don't know why? It's for hunting. Because long range rifles need hunting. You need that for hunting. That's why. And buckshots are for hunting. When you're shooting deer, you're having a buckshot on you sometimes. Or using a long range hunting rifle.
So we won't go with handguns. We'll go to a shooting range that has the shotguns. Is that even how it works? Or do we bring guns?
No. Because now you're talking about shot put. Not shot put. What's it called? The Olympic sport. Where you shoot the disc.
Oh.
The clay disc.
Clay pigeons?
The clay pigeons.
Duck hunt?
Not duck hunt. What the fuck is it called?
I
think it's just
they call it clay pigeons, where you shoot the plates in the air.
Yeah. Hang on.
Let's just do archery. I think that's better, easier. We could do it.
We could
Let's
just do archery.
Let's just do that. I think I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Skeet shooting. That's what it's called. Skeet shooting. That's the Olympic event.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do bow and arrow, and then we're gonna.
And then we're gonna go hunting. And
Not
then we're
about
gonna do that.
hunting, but we are gonna go to a gun range. I feel like we should practice. We should learn. We should know how,
And that's going to do it for the Get Back, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We will see you guys next week for all the fun things in sports. I'm Lewis signing out.
God bless America.
God bless America. That's Daniel. And that's Jess right there. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy. Peace.